That night, the Soviets arrived. A friendly wave. Then our first look at the ultimate game face, worn by 7'2" Vladimir Tkachenko. Pre-game ceremonies give 6,000 people a chance to size up the visitors, especially the tall, wide-bodied big guy, all 350 pounds of him. Then a familiar face, but to most, a surprising voice. Former Clipper Swen Nater.
God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Swen is an inch under 7 feet and weighs 250 pounds, but is dwarfed by Tkachenko. Swen's first shot is a prayer, and wouldn't you know, it's answered. The Soviets miss injured star Arvydas Sabonis, but the players they have are not exactly the reincarnation of Nikita Khrushchev. These guys can play. AIA, sponsored by Campus Crusade for Christ, plays against top college and international teams. In 12 years, Coach Nichols has won nearly 80% of the time.
Come on up! Come on up! Watch it push off!
Former San Diego State player Zach Jones sparks a comeback. Here he out-rebounds the big man, then passes up court for a score. Just like any U.S.-Soviet meeting, there are moments of impasse. In real life, they're often never resolved. Here, possession is settled by a referee. The first half ends in a tie, but only one team is headed for the locker room. For the athletes in action who will remain on the floor, what they are about to say at halftime is the reason why, to them, this is more than just a game. The opposing coach once said, AIA is the only team that prays for your soul at the half, then tries to beat your brains out. The game is close all the way. Swen Nater brings out his best moves, but each time the Soviets answer back. With 15 seconds to play, the game is tied.
Get me a good pick. I want through on this side, so I got a double screen on this side popping off, boom. Otherwise, take it to the hole.
Translated, that means score. But the shot is blocked. It's overtime. Bad news for the Russians. They'll eventually have 3 players foul out. Lorenzo Romar puts AIA ahead with a thrilling drive. Sergei Tkachenko comes back with an acrobatic double-clutch leaning bank shot to tie. 43 seconds to play. Timeout. And Coach Nichols with the play.
Give it to him and inside draw the foul.
Mission accomplished. Doug Pugh is fouled and makes 2 free throws. 92-90 AIA. 10 seconds to play. Timeout Soviets.
Когда такая цель, чтобы не было такого. И он будет занят. Любой, берите на себя, потому что время...
Coach Armand Kralin could have been saying how to outmaneuver Star Wars defense for all we know, but here's the final 10 seconds. A long inbound pass, a 3-point jump shot, misses. A follow off the rebound, misses. Another Soviet shot bounces off, AIA rebounds, it's all over. Their big guy leaves, still wearing his game face. Swen Nater and his teammates go home winners.
Eliminated them in the NCAA last year right here in Atlanta. 94-78. Burrell. By the way, here comes Marchulenis, and he's got another one. Before we get out of here, talking about Munlin and Oliver, the rookies for Georgia Tech, let's talk about the rookie commentator who acted like a veteran tonight, Coach John Thompson. Outstanding work. I think Vitale might lose what hair he's got left.
I think Dick's job is very safe. I prefer to be a basketball coach.
I tell you what, but he did a great job. 6 seconds to go. 18-point lead for the Soviet Union. They're going to be 6-4 after tonight. We will see them on Sunday night against Iowa, and a week from tonight against Kansas. From the top of the key, that is missed by Babenko, and this ball game is over, and the Soviet Union has won it 96-78. Pauline goes to shake hands with Bobby Crimmins.
Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana, where we are very proud to say the 1986-87 Indiana University basketball season is about to begin. Hello, everybody. I'm Chuck Marlowe along with John Lass.
Look at the starting lineups today. Callaway and Thomas are the forwards. Garrett's the center. Alford and Joe Hillman at the guard. Joe has had an excellent offseason and is getting a chance to show himself here. One thing he's...
He gets it on the outlet. 3-on-1. 2. Rick Callaway's first basket. We are tied at 8.
Good steal by Alford.
He'll take it. Reverse layup. It's good. A foul. He'll go to the line.
Great play by Alford. Here's the drive. Marchulenis, a good defensive player. A little contact there. And look how Steve uses the rim.
There's a good baseline pass, and that was tight fit underneath. Garrett fighting for the ball. Tipped up and off the glass. Callaway. The one thing that I have noticed in the practice, a split on the day. Good wheeling motion. And two by Volkov. Indiana lost to Illinois this afternoon. On the side, here's Garrett. Little hook. Gets it right back. Fall away. Tipped up. Callaway's basket will count. And a foul on Volkov. And now the Russians, playing the American system of basketball, are beginning to get in a little trouble.
Well, Dean Garrett again makes the play here. He misses the shot but keeps the rebound alive. And there's Callaway inside. So give Garrett some
feet inside. There he is. Oh, and he muscles his way up. I'll tell you, he's a big man, and he's got a lot of good moves for that size.
He worked well on his outside shot.
Here we have blocking foul, offensive foul. I think it's blocking foul. And it will be against the big one, Tkachenko, his first.
The personal foul is against Tkachenko.
Pass by Miner over to Callaway, drive to the basket, and really takes it up. See how he had to turn around, though. Defensive job that time by Tkachenko.
And he's got a lot of room to make that move.
You just have to really appreciate it. 7'2" and 300-some pounds. The man.
4 teams have beaten the Russians on this tour. Pelkowski, he's dead-eye from there, but misses that one. After the ball, and we have a jump. And Pelkowski and Miner after it.
If that is Magnus's shot, Chuck, he's been working on it all summer.
Tkachenko, and he doesn't have to go very hard to get it over the rim.
No, he doesn't jump a lot that time. Overpass that time by Indiana. Miner should have gone up with a layup. Hillman fed him perfectly.
And the rush here to see some Russian finesse with this ball. Now look at this. This is the big guy.
You don't want to stand in front of him, Chuck.
No,
just
let
him go. And
it is the responsibility on passes like that for the guard, because the guard, the man who he is guarding, is away from the player on the point.
Right, he's the farthest removed, and when a player's on a baseline, that defense is very vulnerable. As a player comes to help, somebody's got to cover his man, so the drop is from the guard.
Very much impressed with the way Garrett holds his post.
He really has done a good job. The coaches wondered how he would react today. Look at him. He's leaning out for the ball, and there's the foul from behind. But he's got good.
Oh, the basket will be good, and that's 2 points.
Well, I think in the let's check the score. I think in international rules, Chuck, that would have been a legal play, because once that ball hits off.
Tkachenko has the job of guarding Alford. No call, and a whistle, and tempers Fugit just a little bit. But we have a foul.
Good angle here. You see Callaway going in. There's the big block. Good defensive play. But Callaway stays right after it. It's just tough to get it over the defense. Could make the substitution. Vladimir picks up his 4th foul. And he's allowed 5. This is college rules.
The interpreter, incidentally, is Meek. The clock ticks down an even 2.5 minutes. Marchulenis has his pocket picked. And a go behind by Marchulenis is Alford to have a solo to the basket. That'll send Steve to the line. And the foul is Sharunas' 3rd.
I think everybody realizes what a great shooter Steve is, and he's done an awful lot of work this summer on the rest of his game.
Shooting the ball is not all just up to him. He inherits a little of that, and I think as we watch the battle under the boards and hard up off the glass, Volkov gets the basket. He'd have popped 3 from there. Forces inside. Pelkowski fall away. Good. That is good persistence. Some of the shots maybe weren't very good selections.
They stayed after it. You're right, Chuck. They stayed after it. Scrapped for the ball. Again, Magnus with a good shot.
Thomas wants Volkov to slide down to the baseline. Oh my, 3-point shot in the air by Komikas. 20 minutes of play. The score, the Hoosiers 51, the Russian Nationals 46. Will be tried to force it inside. Wow. Misses the shot, back up, and good. And credit Tkachenko with his first field goal, second half. Garrett out to Alford. He'll pull up. That's good range for Steve.
I think we'll see that move more this year, Chuck. I've seen it in practice where they outlet the ball to Steve. He takes a couple dribbles. Even if there's no one underneath the basket to rebound, he'll pull up defense by Joe Hillman that time. But Darryl did a better job, easy basket that time on the conversion. Remember a year ago, the exhibition game would have been his very first game as a player, and now he's... Looks like there was some contact underneath. Steve Alford goes by the Russian bench. I think he got an elbow. I think they've called it, there you saw the referee, they've called a two-shot foul for an elbow.
Where he's going. Now he's going down to talk to Bill Walls. Bill's the executive director of the ABA USA. He's here in town, and of course Bill is the one that's responsible for bringing the Russian nationals here. That man doth take no quarter from no man.
Went down the bench, talked to Bill Wall, who's the helping the Russian team. All right, here's the action inside. Steve on the block out. He had just gotten beat the time before, and right there you see an elbow as Steve grabs his jaw. The referee right on
as possible. Alford gets a pick. Komikas gets the pick.
That was a major league pick, Chuck. As he comes around, Steve didn't have a lot of chance. A good shot there from the three-point line.
74-67. And a block. Tkachenko. Well, they have him for only 3. I'm going to check that again.
A little more for Indiana.
Yeah, he can reach so high and put it in. Misses the shot, but Tkachenko, with his 19th point, gets an easy one from the offside. The fans maybe have an opportunity. Look at this. Block and a foul, and he's out of the game. Tkachenko with his 5th personal foul. Not too much of a scoring factor. 6 points.
It's a pretty strong move by Rick Callaway going in against the big man, and was able to draw the foul. So again, that the Soviet team, Indiana running the clock down. Great pass.
They give the assist to you-know-who and Thomas with a great basket, and the fans really like to see this participation. Cross court, Alford, 3-point baseline. How quickly, it's just amazing how quickly he gets that ball into shooting position.
All right, there's the play we've been looking for, a fast break. They look, and you've got to do well in the classroom to be a basketball player at Indiana. And if Darryl's able to do that, he's going to be a help for the team.
Well, that's 2 in a row for Marchulenis. So he's not too much scoring. Now that should be a travel, but no call. And we have a new leader. Tkachenko with his 6th point. It's 89-88 Russia. With 1:12 remaining, and the Hoosiers clinging to a precious lead. Tkachenko, a little weave started outside, and 3 on the way, no good. But this offensive board, credit that basket to Tkachenko. Get part of that disclaimer, and now the announcers used in this program are through the approval of Indiana University. Garrett with his 15th point, big basket.
Let's see how the Russians play. 3-point shot wins the ball game. A 2-point basket sends it to overtime. I think they'll take a 3.
You really do. You think they want it that badly? He's got it on the way. Out of bounds, Indiana. 1 second left on the clock. The Hoosiers just get the ball in, and they can do it. Now, Indiana will just flash to the ball. There it is, and the game's over. Bob Knight and Armand Praulien, coach of the Nationals, shake hands. First win for the 1986-87 Hoosiers as they down a very tough national team by 2 points, 97-95. That's only the 5th loss of the Nationals on this World Tour, or tour of the United States. They lost athletes in action 2 times.
Nationals, 6'8", number 4, Alexander Volkov. At the other forward, 6'9", number 9, Valery Tkachenko. At center for the Soviet Nationals, 6'10", number 15, Valery Govorov. And the guards for the Soviet Nationals, 6'4", number 10, Sharunas Marchulenis. And 6'3", number 13, Vladimir Tomikas. And the head coach of the Soviet national team, Armand Krala. The national team from the Soviet Union.
Armstrong has the ball stripped from him by Marchulenis, and here's Govorov all by himself. Oh, he turns around a backward dunk. They have really been watching the tapes of American teams and players. And the USSR has another three-pointer, no good, batted back out. And Marchulenis can't get the handle on the ball. It's 4-on-2 with B.J. Armstrong, the sophomore out of Birmingham, Michigan, scoring. Marchulenis, a three-pointer. That's 2 three-pointers for the Soviets, none for Iowa. They haven't even tried one. Look at Armstrong, but he's blocked away by Volkov. 12-10, and Armstrong will have a chance to tie the game up.
You'll see Armstrong again. He just turns on the afterburners and shows his quickness.
Bounce pass, feed, and good by Horton. And he's fouled. Horton now has 4 baskets and will go to the line. The foul on Tkachenko.
You watch the replay, Jim. I'll tell you what, Horton ended up at midcourt after this collision. Wang. And look at him go backwards. He ended up all the way out by the timeline.
Foul, his second.
Soviets do this a lot. They skip past, throw diagonals across. Nice pump fake by Tkachenko. Gets Horton up. Here's Tkachenko. John Thompson said he doesn't need to work to establish position. He has it by being there.
Jeff Moe reaches in. Chertonov. Oh, here's Marchulenis for a three-pointer. And Marchulenis now has 2 of them.
And again, you see how the Soviets penetrate the ball and then turn and throw it backwards to people fanned out on the three-point line.
And another turnover. And remember, as Georgia Tech did, so Iowa's trying to do, get the ball inside against these big men. Marchulenis hits the jump shot. He's got 2 three-pointers and a 2-pointer for 8 is an 8. Off the foot of Marble. Wow. I tell you, Moe was down for the count, but they steal it back. And there's Lojas. Tkachenko. For a moment they thought there was a foul on Tkachenko, but none is called.
Now this action here looks more like it should have taken place in the football stadium yesterday afternoon when they beat Purdue.
Rojas, Marble. And over the head of Gamble, and there goes Marchulenis. And Marchulenis got a little trouble there with his hands and feet, but gets it in. It has 14 points to lead all scores. 42-35. Soviets have led by as much as 9. They lead.
Press creates this. You know, press is not just stealing the ball. Oh boy, that was a close one.
Crawley and the coaches allowed Marchulenis. It's moving very well within that. Oh, they got the ball into Lojas. Worked it around, using the clock, then got into Lojas. 40.
Earlier, sometimes I really think that some of his problems are caused by the fact that he doesn't see it well, but not that time. He went up and he just lost control of it.
Tkachenko really wears it on his face, doesn't he? Now look at him. He's going to get down and wipe his hands off. Here comes Iowa. Rojas is back in. Moe is in. B.J. Armstrong's got the corners. Have the Soviets out in front.
Take it right inside to post him up.
Rojas saved the ball, but behind the back, and Komichis gets it. 16 points, and they're booing the little hot dogging of the Soviets. They learned it from the Americans, folks. B.J. goes all the way in. Here's B.J. Armstrong showing a willingness to run Iowa. Armstrong! 4
this half 11 altogether. It's a 3-point game. Armstrong. Here comes Iowa. Armstrong a little out of control, but beats the gamble. 55-54. Belongs to Iowa.
Well, here comes B.J. Armstrong on a coast-to-coast rush. He takes it as far as he can go. Then he dips it off very nice.
Marble gets it to Horton. Yeah! He's going to be a power in the Big Ten. Sophomore out of Springfield, Illinois. He was Illinois' Mr. Basketball 2 years ago.
He has great quickness inside.
Marchulenis gets the ball right to one of the Hawkeyes, picked up by Marchulenis, tipped in by Tkachenko.
Crowd wanted.
That's 22 for him. 65 the tie, and the dunk by Goberov. Now it's 15 points.
Good feed by Kamichis that time.
The rebound is Marchulenis, 2-on-1. The pass, good pass to Goberov, and he's fouled by Marble, and that'll be his.
And Goberov has had on this tour. There's a nice feed off by Marchulenis. Goberov with a dunk on the weak side. Marble gets him from behind. At the other end, what triggered that was an uncharacteristic deep jump shot by Lorenzo.
Iowa, since it was 67 all, and there, shot from the side by Marchulenis. That's a 2-pointer. Armstrong pulls up and shoots, and that's a 2-pointer.
Got him from behind in the press again.
Armstrong, yeah! Armstrong draws the foul.
In Iowa's scheme of things, Armstrong's job on the break is to take it as far as he can. That time he had.
There's Marchulenis. And there's a foul by Mo, but I'm afraid they have fouled the wrong man because Marchulenis has hit 9 out of 10 have fouled out. Here's Marchulenis with 1. He's got it. Now, Iowa looking for a tie.
Soviets pressing.
10 seconds. Box in front of him. Armstrong throws up a prayer. Kamichis keeps it back, and this ball game will belong to the Soviet Union. They win it by 2, 95-93. They failed to set up Iowa a score under the Soviet basket. Marble tried to do it on his own, and it wasn't enough, and the Soviets hung on.
And the last play, they got what they wanted, a side court isolated 2-on-2 for Armstrong. The ball just wouldn't go down. Great game.
There's Marchulenis, and he blew by Hunter, and Hunter tried to hang on to it, and hung on to him instead, and draws his second foul.
Pete Newell in the first game of this series talked about Marchulenis resembling Gail Goodrich. If that wasn't classic Gail Goodrich there, he hooked him with his right hand as he went around him.
Hunter takes a seat, and Turgeon takes the shot, a low trajectory, and Randall comes out with a rebound. Turgeon loses the ball off his hands. 9-10 left, 4-point game.
Whoa, easy.
Wow. Well, Tkachenko that's the most threatening look I've seen him give.
Well, what happened here was that the pivot play was starting to get a little rough, and Alvarado and Tkachenko going at it. Well, Alvarado hits him, and they called a double foul.
Well, they should. Tkachenko threw the elbow first, and then Alvarado came back.
Just kind of underhanded it up there. 2-on-1, Manning, right over top. Intercepted, and the Soviets were slow getting back on defense. And there is a...
Well, this will be a feature of the highlight film. One-hand power dunk, Soap smartly got out of the way. But the...
Trying to get it to Manning. Intent was good. Look at that. Behind the back. Here's Kamichis, and he's good. Kamichis now has 4 points, and it's 17-13. There's Alvarado, covered up quickly, gets the ball out to Pritchard, who takes a shot and drops it through. And Kevin Pritchard, the all-everything from Oklahoma high school player, has his first basket. Fed the ball right to Pella. 2-on-2. Turgeon trying to make something happen there, and they said, yes, he did. Mark Turgeon gets his second basket, and he is fouled.
Now, this is really a marvelous play by Turgeon. This kid is just a little gym rat that really doesn't have any right to be playing as successfully in Division I basketball as he is. He's a little guy. He doesn't have a lot of power. He doesn't have
his spot. And he's come back like, oh, better than a gym rat. There's Volkov. And that is a shot there by Babenko. And a whistle blows as Manning comes down with the ball. Babenko draws the foul, his third. Their play a little bit, in my opinion, moving the ball around a little bit better. Marchulenis gets the shot away. No good. Manning there for the rebound. And oh, look at this. Hunter can just go all the way, but he is hit by Marchulenis, saving the basket, but sending him to the line. Hunter is 1 for 3 from the line.
Now tell me this replay doesn't remind you of Magic Johnson. Gets the rebound himself, dribbles around a couple of guys, hooks around, throws a long bounce pass. Terrific.
Time is called. It is 46-44, 16:52 to go. Oh, good. Pellock got the rebound. Here comes Hunter, the feed to Turgeon. Kansas by 5. Boy, the guards did the job there. Hunter and Turgeon.
Classic 3-on-2.
Khomic's 3 points. Can he shoot the basketball? 18 points. And they go from a 5-point lead to a 2-point lead.
Turgeon was all over him, Jim.
Instead of November at an exhibition.
Manning's played every minute, Jim.
There's Marchulenis, and there's Manning. 4 points this half, 16 altogether. 7-point lead. They've equaled their biggest lead. Khomich, Pritchard is back in on him. Khomich shooting, and it does not go in, and tipped away. Oh, what a great control job by Hunter. Feed, Piper, Manning, yes! 9-point lead.
Manning figured in the rebound down here. He trailed it down, and Kansas with a good secondary break, and they're up 9.
It was tied at 44 as Tarakonov shoots, and he misses. And Kansas has outscored him 12-3. Pritchard. Tipped in by Hunter.